Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. We're going to be unboxing the Horde box for Zombicide. Now this is specifically for the Green Horde campaign, the Kickstarter campaign. These are the stretch goals, this is the box they put them in. You can of course mix and match and merge with the Black Plague campaign to your heart's content, but this is mainly meant to be paired with Green Horde. So what I'm going to be doing in this is just simply going over the box really quickly. We're going to be jumping through the box contents. I'll show you a little bit about what comes inside these stretch goals. The reason I'm showing you guys this stuff is because this is going to be included into the showcase which I'm doing, which will ramp up and amp up the playthrough and make it that much more exciting with new nasty abominations and heroes to play with. So without further ado, let's crack into this thing. So first off, again, created by CMON Games. No big surprise there. You're going to show you the sides of the box all the way around. The artwork is the same for the Horde box actually on all four sides, which is a bit different than the base box. On the very back you get a wonderful colored representation of all the different miniatures in the game all the way down. There's a whole bunch. There's also going to be a gigantic dragon in here, which is really cool. I think there's a new... Oh, that's right. It's not another trebuchet. I was wrong in the original unboxing when I said that there would be another trebuchet. It's actually a ballista, which is very cool. So a whole other way to shoot gigantic abominations and monsters. So I'll read up on this top right corner because you guys can't see it. It says, for the last 5 years, you and the backers and the CMON team joined us to create and develop an entire universe. Zombicide is an exciting, fulfilling, thrilling, and unique experience that we are happy to share with you year after year. We wish to give you all a great thank you and hope to keep on hunting zombies with you for a long time to come as the greatest survivor team the world will ever see. Alright, so we're going to crack into this. Of course, on top of the extra content from Green Horde, you're going to get, looks like you're going to get a couple more extra minis to be able to handle some of those extra activations, which is nice plus. So that's another bonus with the stretch goals, is that if you go ahead and pick it up during a Kickstarter, typically what ends up happening during a base game only of Zombicide is you'll end up running out of miniatures, and when you run out of miniatures, you do an extra activation. Well, if you have the stretch goals, it gives you a little bit of a buffer before that nastiness occurs, which is a bit of a help. Doesn't always help though, because the zombies are still nasty and will likely take you down anyway. This is likely going to add so much more to the base game. It's going to be crazy. So here we go. Let's crack into this thing, see what the Horde box has in store for us. So the first thing we do when we crack this thing off, we are going to go ahead and take a look at the rulebook. So there is a rulebook involved, and this might likely be fairly straightforward. You can see the artwork on the... wow, this is actually really, really nice. The colors pop fantastic. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. So, ooh, look at that. The Feral Dragon spawning. So this is the Feral Dragon. Looks like he's got his own deck of cards to know the direction to push a survivor. That's really cool. I didn't even know that was a part of the dragon. You got the Ballista here, which is cool. Fatty Bursters. That's another addition to this one I forgot about. You've got, oh dear, giants. The zombie giant. Rules for them. You've got rules for... What is that? I forget what that is. What is that? I don't know what that... Oh, it must be just artwork for something. The Obama Bunny. That's terrifying. So there's all these extra abominations that comes in this pack. You can see them here. And they all need their own... they all have their own set of rules, which is again why the game can get a little complex, because you have to reference each of the abomination's specific rules when you activate them. So this is where Zombicide goes from being pretty quick, straightforward with the base game to being a little bit of checking and getting used to some of the new and cool abilities of the monsters. So you got the Horde Brother, the Vault Warden, you've got this crazy unicorn that's seen better days. I'll give you a closer look at the artwork, pretty beat up. There is the Gorgomination. I don't even know if I can say that. Gorgomination. I'll go with that. Basically, this is a mockery from Stranger Things. That's what that's coming from. And there are the actual characters from Stranger Things. The group of kids are a part of, I believe 2 of them are in this Horde box, and then the other 2 came as exclusive characters with the expansions if you bought them during the Kickstarter. So that's really cool. I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things, so that's going to be kind of interesting. There's so many abominations with this. The Swamp Lurker, the Siege Breaker, the Were Zombie, the Magenta. Oh my goodness, that thing's ridiculous. I don't know if you can see that, but like, look at this thing. Insane. And then, of course, you need an extended target priority order now because of all the insanity that's just been added in. So all this stuff here is just added craziness. This is what you're probably going to be using instead of the base game's priority order in order to figure out what's going first. Priority target order is what I meant to say. Okay, what is this? Okay, so there's a tile that's actually just completely loose in the game that sits like this. So I guess this is maybe to add in some specific... This could be towards a particular monster, a particular scenario, not sure. It's smaller than the typical tiles. It has a horse that looks like it's been totally mangled and eaten. There's bones everywhere, so that's wonderful. That always has good news wrapped in it. Okay, cool. So this is like a giant sleeve. So here's the sleeve. Let's move this stuff out of the way. We'll come back to it. So once you push this sleeve out, oh my gosh, look at this insanity. Look at that. Okay, what the heck? Look at the size of this guy. He's huge. So this is the giant. Look at the detail on this guy. That is awesome. I love the axe. Of course, I saw the dragon in there too, guys. Don't worry, I'll definitely be getting to that. This guy's just massive, though. But who's even bigger than that is this dragon. And it doesn't even have the wings on it yet, and it's huge. Gotta give you some close-up of the detail on it. That's craziness. Wow. Okay, so there are spots in the back, of course, for the wings. So I'm guessing, I'll tell you if this is simple or not, but I believe you just push them in to place. And the cool thing is that you can, I think you can push them into place and then also, or glue them, you'd want to glue them into place in the end of the day. But you can push them into place, I think, at least initially. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them to set correctly on video here, though. That's the only thing. It probably won't. Yeah. I'm going to need to glue those in, but that's okay because I'm very much used to gluing miniatures. So I'm going to hold them in for now, as long as I can here. And I'm going to try to show you what it would look like if it was assembled. Yikes, that actually might not go so well. So essentially this thing has wings that pop into the back of it like this. They're quite large. Oh, I see now. It does actually sit and rest against the side. Oh, okay, I wasn't putting it on the right angle. So maybe these do actually go in without needing gluing initially. So yeah, that's pretty cool actually if that's the case, because that makes everything... Oh yeah, I wasn't lining it up correctly. That's part of the battle. There we go. This is decent enough. Of course, a little glue would go a long way to holding that, but look at the size of the wings on this thing. Ridiculous. It's crazy. That is a pretty intense miniature. So he's pretty cool, and when he ends up on the game board, it's going to be taking up quite a bit of space. Put him off to the side like that. What else we got in here? We got the Ballista. So this is another weapon for the I believe for the heroes to use, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty awesome. We've got some. Oh, there's that creepy thing from Stranger Things, the Gorga whatever, Gorga Abomination. The wonderful unicorn that. The wonderful unicorn. Almost dropped that. The wonderful unicorn that has seen better days. A little bit beat up. It's like the unicorn of death, pretty much. We've got ourselves whatever the heck this thing is. So cool. He's pretty aggressive. Claws, fingers, like it's as big as my thumb. That's crazy. He's pretty cool. What's really interesting about this game, the reason I like Zombicide, and at least like having one version of it, is all these abominations act differently in the game, which is fun because every time one comes out, it totally throws your strategy out the window. You might be like, oh yeah, we're going to head to this objective and handle this pretty easily. And then a particular abomination comes out with a particular ability that just throws everything into chaos. And that's kind of how a zombie apocalypse would really go down, is that, you know, you'd run into things you weren't expecting, or they behave differently than you'd expect, and things would just go to hell. So they've definitely nailed that with these, and I think that's why the stretch goals really add a lot of extra to the game, because I mean, like, each one of these guys is going to have different things. So like a guy like this, where it looks like he has a really long reach, he might be able to reach maybe one space further than the rest of these abominations. So things like that can be, you know, kind of bonuses. Whereas this guy, my guess with this guy is he's a quick runner. I could be wrong on that. Someone probably knows better than I do, but this is a creepy looking thing. I know that that's supposed to be some kind of joke reference to something that I've totally forgotten what it is now. That's horrible. I should have remembered. But I remember during the campaign that was kind of like a big joke. This thing's just flat out creepy. And then this guy. What the heck? a super tall giant guy with this like creepy smile. That's messed up. He looks like an undead pirate of some type. So cool. So anyway, that's the first level of the box. So there's no point in taking that down. I might as well just leave that on. You can see one side sitting in pretty well. I didn't pop this in well, but you can see on the side of this, you guys can actually see this. There is a groove here and there's a groove there, and those two pieces go into the back. And it will hold. I'm just being foolish, and I'm not very good at putting this one in. But once it's in there, I'll probably just glue it anyway. But I think the idea is that you don't have to glue them. You should just be able to stick them in and pull them out so you can store them back in here again. I think that's the intent. Of course, with this, you're going to get a ton of hero cards, because what's likely underneath that piece of paper is an insane amount of heroes, because we've just seen all the abominations and stuff added in. You can also see there that it's got another regular abomination in green right down here that we picked up earlier. So that's kind of to bolster the base game. And we don't want to miss the fact there's a whole bunch of cards hiding back here. So that's cool. I almost totally missed that. So let's rip into that, because that's exciting. We got to see what kind of new and cool cards come with this set. So we've got, oh, this is going to be interesting. So we got the shield gauntlet, a couple of those, grappling lance, mace guns. Try to give you an idea of what's going on here. The sword gauntlet, animal armor, holy orb of death, pit fighter, magic ball destiny. That's the picture that I saw during the rulebook that I didn't know what it was. The ballista. This is the dice rolling mechanic to determine where the dragon goes, would be my guess. There's a number of these cards. So when they pop up, I'm guessing in the spawn deck or something. Oh no, they're actually totally different backs. Look at that. So I'm going to have to find out what the mechanic is involved with the dragon. There's obviously some rules for that. I'm going to have to learn quite quickly. But that's pretty interesting. You got the feral dragon cards themselves. So of course the trigger, the nasty dragon. And a whole bunch of those, actually. Fatty Bursters. Those are some new ones. I think you can actually buy some additional Fatty Bursters, too, from the campaign. It was a second thing. And then, of course, each abomination has their own activation cards. So if you want to put them all in, you just dump all of these in. If you don't want them in, you just don't put them in. So that's going to be the fun part. Do I go ahead during the playthrough and pop them all? What the heck? Where's the abomination bunny? Did I miss the bunny? Oh no, the bunny's in this tray over here. Okay, he's small enough that he hides. I was going to say I didn't see him in this gigantic pile here, but he is in there. So anyway, a whole bunch of spawn cards. And of course there is Necromancers, of course, that are going to pop into this. So there's a couple new Necromancers that were added in as stretch goals at the end, and that nasty looking unicorn thing. That's super cool. I like the stretch goals are really where it's at. They really do bolster things. The base game is going to be a ton of fun just by itself, but it's really exciting to get the extra stuff, because you can see they just go over and above with the production quality on the miniatures and stuff like that, and the extra content you get really is worth the price of entry, because it really does add the replayability is what I'm trying to say. It goes up through the roof. Here's a nice little handy insert to show you exactly how to get all your miniatures back into the exact same positions they were before. And then now we're going to go ahead and lift this tray out, which is the last tray in this box. And, oh, there we go. Look at that. See, you can see right here. Oh, I was wrong. So there's more. There's, there we go. So there's the 3 characters from Stranger Things. So Billy, Z, and Laurette. So I guess there's 3 that are included in this box. And then the other 2 are included in the exclusive characters that come with the expansions. So that's pretty cool. That's really awesome. So cool. I cannot wait to do the showcase with you guys. I think it's going to be really fun to hear you guys' suggestions as we go through the playthrough as to like what's the next best thing we can do and what path should we take to complete an objective, and getting cut off by all these massive monsters as we play through it should be a lot of fun. To be totally honest, I haven't played Zombicide in years, so this is a good reintroduction back into it again. Alright, so just bear with me here, because there's tape actually on all 4 sides of this container, because apparently they didn't want anybody to ever actually get inside of these containers. There we go. Okay, that took a bit, but it was worth it. Alright, so thanks for bearing with me there. The top of this thing's coming off. There we go. So what have we got in here? We got all kinds of stuff. So the fatty bursters look like they're a grayscale. So that's going to help. I think that was a smart decision to make them a little bit of a different color, because then, well, first off, they're going to stick out more than anything else in the game, and you know that they're different. They have their own set of rules. So it'll be easier to find them and activate them. You've got Necromancers, of course. So they've got their own scale as well. So these are the new Necromancers that were added in as part of the stretch goals. So there's a few of them. I'll show you each of them. Of course, going through every single hero may not be exactly feasible. One thing I've thought about doing, guys, on the channel is at some point in the near future, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of those rotating miniature stands, which will allow me to unbox things, put a miniature on it, have it spin around, and I'll have camera shots kind of hitting that so that you guys can quickly see the miniature really up close with really high quality details and stuff. I think that'll be nice instead of me pulling them out of the box and holding them in my hand. Plus the cuts will be quicker. Here's the Obama Bunny, bloody tiny, literally ridiculously tiny. But I guarantee you this thing is probably one of the toughest things in the entire game. I wouldn't be surprised if they made that as a joke. Just because kind of the thing with Zombicide is the bigger the nastier, but I am sure they made that bunny really powerful. So of course you got standard zombies we've already talked about in Necromancers from the original game, all in the green up here, and then you get into the heroes. So the fun part is trying to figure out where the Stranger Things heroes are, and I might goof up trying to find these because there are quite a few guys to look through here. And I'm looking for guys that are relatively short. So I think this is one. I think this is Lawrence. Yep, that looks right. So that's one. One of them right there. Let's see if I can... There we go. So that's one of the Stranger Things characters. We've got... we got Z. Where is Z? Got her hand... She's got her hand out. This is her here. Yes. And she's... Yep. Very little hair. That's... Oh! And Z's on the floor now. There we go. Never mind. That didn't happen. No damage is done. There's Z. And then the last one is Billy. Where is Billy? Billy's this one, I think. So that's pretty cool. So there's Billy. I actually have a fourth exclusive character. I don't have it. I'm still looking for... I believe I have the halfling character, which is this guy right here. So he came along with the Kickstarter as well, but I don't have the other one. So I'm still on the hunt for the other one in order to complete the collection, but I do have this guy. So what I'm thinking of doing is in my playthrough, if I don't manage to get the other one to have all 5, I believe it's only 5, then I'm just going to go ahead with these 4. So I'm probably going to use these 3 Stranger Things characters plus this one guy here as my 4 characters to go through the game with. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully that's something that will excite you guys, and it'll be kind of cool to see the Stranger Things kids running through here trying to take on all the zombies. So on top of that, of all these different things, there's a ton of different heroes. So without pulling them all out of the box, the best thing to do is just to bring it up close and personal, let you see each of the heroes. And the sculpts are just awesome for all the different heroes. Each one is completely unique. They have their own abilities and things like that the other ones don't have. And you know what, to be honest, they've definitely, their sculpts and the plastic and everything has definitely gone up in terms of quality since the Black Plague version, for sure. There's a noticeable difference in quality there in terms of painting too. Like if you are a heavy painter, want to paint these things up, they've got a lot of really, really good detail. It's going to make it easier for you to paint. And that's huge. So of course we've got the character deck here, which is relatively thick to match up with all the characters you just saw. So I'm just going to quickly rip through that. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but it'd be cool to just kind of go through the different characters. Again, a lot of Zombicide stuff is kind of a joke or a spin-off or a spoof of real life characters, or it could be characters from novels, movies, all that kind of stuff, like just pop culture in general. So you've got all kinds of different characters. There's no point in stopping on any of them particularly because you're going to recognize them the second you see them. There is a Stranger Things character we'll be playing with Billy, and there's just so many other characters to choose from with so many different abilities. And of course, all their abilities down here are what's really different about them. So I'm not going to have any problems picking from characters as I go through. That's awesome. Spearhead, the Death Master, the Marquis. Z, that's awesome. Look at that. So cool. Very, very cool. Alright, so these three are the ones that I'm definitely going to be playing with. So the three of the kids from Stranger Things. These are the miniatures I've already pulled out for them. So I'm going to be using them during the playthrough. Plus, I will be going through, definitely using North the Halfling. That's basically it, though, for the Horde box. That's all there is. But what I'm going to do is a special kind of extras. I'm going to go ahead and open this up on camera so you guys can see the fourth character up close and personal. And I'm sure many of you guys will recognize him, so I don't even need to mention his name. It's just cool that they added this in, because I'm a massive Stranger Things fan. I just recently saw the trailer for the newest season coming up, and I'm super excited for it. The show is they're just killing it right now. And I really hope they continue to do well, because they've got something really special going on with that. So we're cracking open the exclusive box for this miniature, and here we go. So we've got the actual player. There he is. So I'm sure you guys recognize him if you're a Stranger Things fan. And then, of course, the actual miniature itself. Here he is in all his glory. It's pretty awesome. It's got some music to play. So there we go. So we've got the whole Stranger Things gang here, except we're missing one. And I think the one we're missing is Will. I think that's the only character from the show. I have to double check to make sure there's no more Stranger Things characters because there's a whole bunch of characters in the show Stranger Things that may be in here that I don't even know. But I know for in terms of the kids, I think the only one I'm missing is Will, and I think it's from No Rest from the Wicked expansion is the one I need to go after. That has, and I'd have to find somebody who has the Kickstarter version to get the exclusive miniature. But these are the four, at the bare minimum, these are the four that we're going to be using as we play through the showcase. And if I get lucky enough to find it in time, then I'll add the fifth one in, or we'll go up to 6 characters or something crazy like that. So that's going to do it. That covers the entire Horde box for Green Horde. Hopefully this was useful to show you what you get in terms of stretch goals. Be advised that this character here, North the Halfling, which is this one right here, does not come as part of the Horde box and is an exclusive that you have to pick up or should have picked up during the Kickstarter. It was specific for buying the expansion at the time of the Kickstarter, so that guy you cannot get in retail. And again, all these, and the same thing for everything in this Horde box. All of this is Kickstarter exclusive material, which you'd have to buy secondhand, essentially, from somebody else. Hopefully this helps you see what's inside the box. Also sees the nightmares that I'm going to be sending towards myself as we go into the showcase for the Green Horde. It's going to make for a really exciting one. Hope you guys will join me on the journey, and we'll see whether I can survive the mass of Green Horde. Until the next episode, thanks for watching and your support. As always, keep on rolling solo.